So Matty, we're right up on the flat at the moment. High tides are in 2 metres of water. At low tide, there's probably maybe 2 feet, half a metre or something like that. So what are we looking for? What is your suggestion?
So on the incoming tide, I like to throw the pots in the hole. Actually, the outgoing tide. I like to throw the pots just in the channel where it drops off, but not on the slope. When you get down into the drop off, make sure they're sitting flat on the bottom. And you should see it coming up soon. It should drop off.
And what's your suggestion with the trap or the funnels? Should they face the current?
Generally, I like to try and get them facing the current. It's just easy for the crabs. If their funnel's facing the right way, they can just swim straight in. If it's turned to the side, they got to walk around, you know, and try and find the entrance. Right. Just trying to make everything as easy as possible to get that advantage.
Especially when you've got so much so much run in the water.
That's right.
That there's going to be a bit of current, and they can all fly past it.
Exactly right. And we can see the drop off here. So generally, I won't put it on the slope. I'll wait until it pans off and starts flattening out.
Yeah, righto. Okay.
Just so that way your pot's not sitting on that angle, it's just sitting flat on the bottom.
Yeah, okay, you reckon that's a crab?
I reckon that's probably a crab pot.
It's like a crab pot, yeah, righto. Well, mate, we've got some schools of bait fish there, but we're on the bottom, so... All right, let's go and chuck him in there. 5 metres of water.
Unreal.
Looking good. All right. All right, Matty, we've left the docks, mate. We're out here. We've got a bunch of pots sitting up the top. This is the number one going out into the drink. How do you bait them up? What's the best bait you can recommend? And fingers crossed, we can get into a few crabs. What do you suggest?
Well, I like to run mullet. Any oily kind of fish. Mullet and chicken. I find if you're soaking them overnight, chicken works a bit better.
Raw chicken?
Raw chicken, chicken frames, preferably.
Which are pretty cheap from the butcher.
And they are cheap.
Or woolies, you know?
Or just your whole mullet when you're running them during the day.
Yeah, okay.
They seem to give a quicker scent, so a faster release. And when I'm baiting them up, I like to give them a few slits, just to get that oil coming out of them. And then we'll just go the hook straight through the eye, because he's got the nice bone there. And then that to the middle of the pot, in the drink pool. And
so just one mullet's more than enough?
I think so. You can get carried away. I mean, if you're setting them overnight, you'd probably go a bit heavier.
Yeah, righto.
But during the day, if you keep your baits continually changed over, and fresh is best.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to eat a stinky mullet or a stinky bit of chicken, do you?
No, that's right. And neither do the crabs.
Crabs are fussy. Down to the crab pot now, because these collapsible pots are phenomenal. You know, Anaconda do the general 4 for 50.
They're
the orange ones. This is the older blue one that you got. This is your lucky pot too, by the way.
It is. That's my boy's pot.
That's your boy's pot.
That's my lucky pot.
What's your kids' names?
Amani and Jagger.
Hey, Amani. Hey, Jagger. Hope you're doing well there, boys. Watching the old boy on the TV, hey? Good on you. So when we do this end here now, mate, you put your bait into the bottom?
I always like to put it on the bottom of the pot. Mainly because if you put it on the top, they can sit on the top here and just pick away at it.
Yes.
So throw it on the bottom. They can't get underneath the pot. And they're more likely to go in there.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we'll have to tag this one up and put him in the drink. But mate, I've got to say also, the top end, if you don't do this right, you're going to leave like this.
That's right.
A big gaping hole where the crabs can get in and get out.
That's exactly right. You always like to go to the opposite corner to pull that nice and tight to close that pot up.
Okay, so there you go. Nothing's getting in or out of that hole there. So I'll come in now. Will crabs go into the crab pot and then go out?
Oh, I think they do. If you leave them too long, I reckon they can still get out, especially if your pot's a bit worn like this one, if your ropes aren't too good.
Right.
But if they're thick at the moment, so if you're continually checking them, they're fine.
Yeah, okay, mate. All right, well, let's get it tagged, put it in the drink. I do want to have a look at the sounder, because that's super important for you guys back home, is to understand what depth are you going to put your crab pots in, what's the tide height going to do. So we'll jump into the cab and we'll have a look at the run on the bottom and see exactly where we're going to put them in.
Sounds good, Paul.
Go on you, mate. Let's go get that tag.
Right to go, Paul?
Yeah, mate. Drop her in. Let her out. Beauty. All right, mate, we've got the pots out. How long are we going to let them soak for now?
Oh, we'll give it a couple of hours, eh?
Yeah, okay.
In between that, we'll go for a bloody prawn. What do you reckon?
I reckon it'll be all right, mate. We've got one mullet left over.
We do.
Do you reckon you can divide that up if we need it again?
I'm not that hungry, but we'll see how we go.
All right, mate. Got the crab measurer. Time to do a little bit of prawning. Let the pot soak for a couple of hours. Get that tide to turn, and fingers crossed we can have a bit of a seafood buffet tonight, mate.
Fingers crossed, mate.
All right, done deal. All right, Matty, we're back at the crab pot drop zone, buddy. Now the tide's turned.
It has.
What do you think we're gonna, how do you reckon we're going? I know you said there's a few crabs on the move at the moment.
Well, yeah, this morning's tide was pretty good, the incoming. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping the turn of the tide rebaited them.
Yep.
I reckon we should get a few, mate.
All right, mate, well, let's get into them because this is your one here.
It is.
And the hardest thing is as well is that everyone, when you go and get your crab pot floats, you know, the kit from Anaconda or anything like that,
Yep.
is they're all the same.
Yeah, that's right.
They're all the same. So, and when the crabs are running, you're looking around, there's 200 floats.
Mate, there's a lot of floats out here at the moment. So yeah, you got to know exactly where you do it and mark it on the GPS, mate. Can't go wrong.
That's exactly it. All right, because if you don't want to check old mates.
Oh, we've got a few here, Paul.
No, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Are you for real?
There's a couple of keepers in that one,
Dude,
Paul.
I just got to say to you, like honestly, Matt, you've lived Bayside.
I know.
Have you ever in your life seen anything like that? It was just
Mate, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm saying 7 keepers, and this one's under, and they're all male, no females.
And you're thinking Queensland, you're only allowed to keep 7 crabs per person. So one pot, you've caught your limit. There's 2 of us on the boat, so we can double that up. But mate, that is incredible. And you're still paying. I mean, there's obviously an influx of these in the on the seafood market at the moment.
Yep.
But they're still going for really expensive prices.
You can buy a crab for, I think the local seafood shop's got 2 for $70.
Is that right?
Yep, 2 for $70.
Geez, wait till Christmas and it'll be 1 for 120.
Well, that's right. The hardest part now is, Paul, how do you get 7 out?
I don't know.
Are you sticking your hand in there?
I just can't believe this. This is incredible crabbing.
Yep.
And man, this is why you got to have a plan B. You know, we came out, we could do that. You know, we've done some cast netting for the prawns. Got a couple of prawns. That didn't really fire, but you know, the crabbing is certainly firing up. So, mate, I can see a feast happening tonight.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with a bit of chili crab, is there?
Hell nah. Mate, we can do 7 different ways.
Yep.
Do you tip them on the floor or just hand by hand?
Oh, well, normally I don't have the problem of trying to get them out.
No, he's even though he's right on it. Like
He is just on it,
He's
but-
just on it.
I'm going to let him go because see the hole there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've got so many,
That's right.
we can be quite, you know, lenient.
And you'll find that when they do have a hole in their shell like that, for whatever reason, he might have got hit by another one.
Yeah.
The meat inside, it's no good.
Is that right?
No, it gets full of the mud.
Yeah, okay. So
So-
it gets a bit of a muddy flavour, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Righto.
So we'll let him go.
All right. So we'll grab old mate here.
There you go.
How's that? So give him a measure up. Now he's weighing, he's fine.
Yep.
So he's probably a good 16 centimetres. So we've gone from one of the points to the other side across the top of the carapace. And even if you went to the top of the carapace within the points, it's still way
He's
over.
still well, yep.
And that's a beautiful crab. So you're just feeling under here, eh?
Yeah, just see if he's full crab.
Okay, next one, your turn.
Righto.
All right, so we know this one is going to be fine.
He'll
Look at
be
that.
legal,
I mean,
yep.
he's, again, touching from touching to touching. So he is way in.
Yep.
Yep, another beautiful crab. So this one here, mate, he looks green.
I just like to feel to see if you can push the shell in.
Yep.
If you can push it in, he's a bit of a floater. He doesn't have much meat.
Yep.
If it's nice and hard, you know, you got a full crab. But this one's soft, bit of a floater, so
Out she
no
goes.
point in keeping him, mate. Nah. A couple of weeks, he'll be good to go.
When you cook them there, talk about when you cook them, the best way to cook them, how do you know if they're cooked? Like, is it, you know, they float and all that?
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm cooking them, I'll boil them up. Some people like to take the shells off and clean them, split them in half and cook them that way and steam them even. Personally, I've gone that way. I've cleaned them while they're still green. Obviously, once they're asleep, and I'll steam them just in a couple of inches of water. Nice clean crab. Otherwise, you can keep them in their shell. And it's just as good in my book, but whatever's your preference. Got a nice claw on him. Don't want to get your fingers in there.
Oh yeah, we'll go on your side there, Matt.
Right, mate.
I'll grab that.
Go. All righto. Let's see how we go, Paul.
No way. Are you seriously sick at this?
That's a
Look at the
keep.
size of that.
That's a keeper there, Paul.
Yeah, he's got barnacles on his back.
Yep.
Look at old mate there.
They're good crabs at the moment, kind of all that A-grade crab, so.
Mate, it's incredible. And of course, you know, a bit of mullet, bit of chicken.
Yeah.
It doesn't go wrong, does it?
No.
No. You've got to be quick about it.
He's actually not that big, but he's chockers.
How do you tell if they're hard, mate?
Well, you can always go behind the carapace, under here.
Yes.
On the corners, or you can feel them in the meats of the legs there.
Yeah, okay. He's pretty good. So we're going to put him out. There's got to be 15 centimetres across the top here for Queensland. New South Wales a bit different. There you go. He sits in there. He's bigger than that.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably just 16 about.
Yeah, mate, perfect. He's a keeper.
Yeah, throw him in the bin, eh?
Let's go. Straight to the esky. And how do you tell if they're the males for people out there?
Yeah, so just the males have got the nice sharp V on the bottom.
Yep.
And the females will have a nice big U shape.
Yeah, okay.
And usually the females have got a real big carapace, small nippers.
Small nippers, that's right.
This little fella, he can go back. He's only a pup.
See you later, mate.
Well, we've got a couple more to check, Paul.
All right, mate.
I reckon we could do a bit better. See some more.
I'll tell you what, coming from banana prawning out to catching crabs, it's just a really good way. Plan B, have 2 different plans for your day. Oh, snapper. Look at that. That's just, it's phenomenal the amount of crabs around at the moment.
Now,
we finally got a female. We
There's
can
a
show
female,
everyone
yep.
the difference there because, you know, it's an easy thing to get mistaken by if you don't know your crabs.
absolutely.
They're round, they're brown, and they've got big nippers.
Yep.
But there is a male and a female. And that, we need to tell you the difference. So there's your female. Have a look at that one. Can we grab out a male there, you reckon there, Mark? If we can, mate. Big carapace,
Yep.
small nippers.
Yep, that's right. Whereas the male, smaller the carapace, bigger nippers.
Okay.
Even though he's got fairly small nippers.
Let's turn her over. Now, she's full. You can tell that by the colour.
That's right. Absolutely. And this male, I'm going to say he's probably a little bit floater.
Yep.
Oh, touch and go. He's
Touch and go?
not too bad. Very clean.
Yep. This one is as solid as a goog, but
Yep.
being a female, we can't keep her in Queensland.
Away she goes.
We let her go. See you later, sweetheart. Straight down to the depths and straight into the next pot.
Oh, I can see crabs, Paul. I can see crabs, Paul. Oh. Oh my God.
Here we go. Look at this.
Oh my goodness gracious. How many have we got here, Paul?
Mate, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
10 crabs in one pot. We've done now 4 pots, and I've got to say, folks, it doesn't get much better than this. Matty, thank you so much, legend.
Pleasure.
Absolute
pleasure.
Oh man, I've got to say, and to, of course, Amani and Jagger out there, your dad is an absolute legend, and he's put us onto the crabs there, boys, and learn everything from him, and they're all our viewers back home, because I'll tell you what, it's this kind of experience that you don't get that often, coming on and helping you guys and myself out as well, mate.
Yep.
We've checked our 4 pots, and I've got to say we've got 10 in this, so probably caught over 25 crabs in less than 2 hours, everyone. 2 hours. We had a crack at the prawning, didn't do too well there, but plan B certainly did fire up. Well, that's it for today's show, mate. I'll tell you what, thanks very much for bringing us out to the spots.
Mate, my pleasure, Paul, my pleasure.
So what did you contribute?
Mate, I reckon we got a couple of crabs here, Paul.
Well, I got enough for a dinner roll.
Yep, you got enough for a roll. I'm going to go some chili crab, I reckon.
Yeah, chili crab, and you got enough for a bakery.
Yeah.
You got enough for a bakery. I got enough for a dinner roll. Until we see you next time, take it easy, everyone. We'll catch you next time on Step Outside. And of course, thanks for watching Step Outside YouTube channel for lots of cooking and fishing action. Like, subscribe, and of course comment for more catches like this and cooking recipes.